Great Wednesday morning, March 24th, 2021. To God be the glory for yet another beautiful opportunity to do His will. I tell you, God is so good, and just living this way and experiencing daily His provisions, His promises, His love, His keeping power. Oh my goodness. There's no other way. Can you imagine? I think I was talking to someone recently and we're like, can you imagine having gone through the pandemic and still going through this wave and that wave? They're talking about, so many different variations of the virus and so many episodes. Can you imagine, believer, if you didn't have Christ? If you didn't have the Lord in your life to steer you, how you would just be tossed to and fro, and you would be high and low, and this day and that day, you wouldn't know how to respond and react. But we have an anchor to our soul, both steadfast and sure, so to make us strong in Him. We are in the 23rd chapter of Joshua, and this is a section where it's talking about Joshua's last words. I had to do this video over, because I likened this chapter to the first chapter of Joshua, and we know that 4 times it was said to be ye strong and only of good courage. It said that in verse 6, the Lord said it. It says, I will be with thee. I will not forsake thee, nor fail thee. And then it says in verse 6, be strong and of good courage. And then it says in verse 7, only be thou strong and very courageous. This is the Lord telling Joshua, don't even have any trepidation about this challenge, this new role. You were a commander, now you're the leader. You're ready for this. And just like the Lord is making ready you for some new assignments, just know that you can rely on the Lord. And then in verse 9 of the first chapter of Joshua, it says again, have not I commanded thee, Joshua? Be strong and of a good courage. Do not be afraid nor dismayed. For the Lord thy God, your Father, is with thee whithersoever thou goest. Even if it's right or left, down the street, across the world, He's with you. And then in verse 18, yet again, the last verse of this chapter, whosoever he be that doth rebel against thy commandment and will not listen, just shut you down unto thy words and all that thou commandest him, look, he'll be cut off. But you only be strong and of good courage. So for Joshua's farewell speech, he said the same thing. He took the Father's words and made them His own. And that's what the Lord wants us to do. He wants us to read His word, His will, His commandments, so that we'll be able to order our conversation aright. And then we can be a compass, because the Lord has anchored us, and we can have direction for our lives, and then we could speak life into others, so then that they will be able to be successful and triumphant based on the word of God. Yes. So in chapter 23 of Joshua, he repeats, and he gives some last words of encouragement. In verse 6, he repeats what his father said in chapter 1. He says, be ye therefore very courageous to keep and to do. So this is what we're to do, to keep the words, hide it in our hearts so that we might not sin against the Lord. Protect it. This is gold, and this is way more valuable than gold, rubies, anything. And to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, that ye turn not to the side, to the right, or to the left. Stay straight and narrow. Listen to the Lord. He'll direct you. And then he says it in verse 7, that Ye come not, that you don't get distracted. Okay? You won't serve craziness and idols and all this and bow down to the things that will vie for your attention. No. But in verse 8, you will rather cleave. You will connect to the Lord your God. And then in verse 10, because it is the Lord who fighteth for you. He is the one. He's the one who has kept his promises. And then in verse 11, take good heed unto yourselves. Bottom line, that ye love the Lord your God. Isn't this the advice that you would give to someone if you were on your deathbed? You would say the same things. Well, think about the last words that Jesus gave when he was on the cross. The first set of words was, Lord, forgive them, for they don't even know. They don't even realize what they're doing. And don't you know that the Lord will want us to utter that to people who are listening? Don't hold on to bitterness. Life is too short. Look, you can do all things through Christ because Jesus went on the cross and he gave us triumph. We have that resurrected power every day. So things that we can't do in the flesh, our puny strength, we could do through the Lord by his strength. Psalms 144:1 says he will teach our hands to war and our fingers to fight. In Psalms 24, who is the king? The Lord strong and mighty, so we can lift up our heads all day and be victorious. Let's not keep it to ourselves, y'all. Life is too short. We bless the Lord, our strength. Yes, we bless him. We are courageous and we want others to realize that might. Have a wonderful day, being valiant, being victorious, and enjoying being a winner.